Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Green, and like Mr. Griffith said, I'm a past student of this institution. I sat in this very room for music class right here, walked the corridors, and I was one of those students who showed a lot of respect to the teachers. Fast forwarding, I fell in love with airplanes when I was, let's say maybe 8 years old. And where my family lives in Marley Hill, small airplanes would fly overhead, and they would go down to this place called Big Pastor. And I was told that they were picking up marijuana. So their bad birthed my good, because the birth of me liking airplanes comes from that. Later on, I migrated to the United States and got into high school and then into college. And the school had told us that we have to get our degree to work on airplanes and stuff. Let me just say that we do not need a degree to work on airplanes. We don't. I ended up having an engineering degree, never used it. Our engineering department is made up of about 60 guys. There's a list on that, there's a list of guys, about 1,000 people who are waiting to become engineers, to work as an engineer. And people don't die that easy, which means the chance of me becoming an engineer is going to be very slim, because I was number 78 on the list when I checked about 3 years ago. Going forward, I work for one of the three carriers of the United States, Delta Airlines, as a mechanic. Call us airplane doctors, airplane surgeon, airplanes, whatever it is. We get to touch the airplane in every aspect of work, wingtip to wingtip, nose to tail. Anything comes on the plane is our job. Navigation system comes in, it's broken, it's my job. A toilet coming, not flushing, it's my job. There are days I have poops on my hand, wherever. It's just my job to get it done and make sure that the airplane flies and get them back up in the sky. The difference with my job as a technician or airplane surgeon, a doctor, what you may call it, than a surgeon out there who do surgery on humans. If that surgeon screws something up, then they might kill that patient. If I do something wrong on that airplane, I could take out upwards of 200 people. And then the judge might tell you that it's 10 years per body for your screw up, something you've done wrong. So it's a fun job, but we have to take it very serious, because we have lives to think about and family to feed and everything. So the responsibility is very big, but it comes with a lot of perks. Last time I checked, I traveled over 42 countries and I'm still going. It's fun, it's just a lot to do, just so much to experience. And if you want to do it, just remember, you do not have to have a degree. Right now, we have, the last couple of years, we've been hiring kids from high school and stuff like that. They're coming in with just a certificate. So what I did in 4 years, they shrunk that down to 16 or 18 months. And these kids are coming in now, working alongside me. They're making $46 an hour out of high school. 46, no degree, just a certificate. So you guys can do it too. And it's just a matter of being focused and know what you want to do. Pay attention in school. It's a career that anybody can do. As long as you can read, it's yours. You can do it. All right? Guys, good luck with your career. Good luck with your path. And I wish you guys all the best.
Good afternoon, everyone. From my accent, you probably can tell I'm not from around here. I'm not a graduate of Crosskeys High School, but I'm the husband of somebody who is, from the class of 99. And it's a privilege to have this opportunity just to come and just to share with you in this lunch and learn event, and specifically around STEM careers. Now, right now, well, earlier today, I was working remotely, and that's one of the privileges that I have of my job, that I could be anywhere in the world and I can work. So I manage a team of well over sort of 50 people in various countries around the world that are responsible for delivering quality digital experiences, and particularly at a higher education level. Earlier today, I was talking to colleagues in Rwanda. I have colleagues in India as well as across the UK. And we are responsible for supporting the work of a major university in the United Kingdom. And so what I'd like to do is just to ask you all a question. What problem do you see right now that you would like to solve in the world? What problem? Just keep that question in your mind as we go through this presentation. I'm not going to be long with this. It could be from, as it says here, from curing diseases, building smart cities. That's something that's definitely coming to Jamaica. Designing video games, launching satellites. STEM careers are basically shaping every single corner of our world. Every single corner. So you'll see it in gaming and tech. You'll see it in sort of VR, virtual reality, engineers creating worlds we explore. You'll see it across sort of healthcare and that big buzzword nowadays, AI, artificial intelligence. How many of you have ever seen or driven in an automated vehicle? Okay. All right, some people are a little bit uncomfortable about that. You don't want to be driven around by a robot. But the way that the world is going, there's a lot of processes that sort of take place, or things across sort of transportation that are being automated nowadays. You know, you're taking the human element sort of out of it. But importantly, AI is not replacing human beings. We've got to underscore that. But AI is a tool that we can use to make a lot of things that we do more efficient. Some of you are probably using AI right now. Hopefully you're not using AI too much in your studies and that you're writing those essays yourself. You can use AI for research and so forth, but make sure that what you're doing is your own work. And I'm sure that many of your teachers nowadays are getting upskilled to know and to recognize when something has been generated by AI and it's not you. You'll see STEM across sort of green energy as well. And then one of the areas that my team sort of supports is cybersecurity. And that's very, very important in this digital age in which we live, securing our digital world. And there's a lot that you can do personally to do that as well. So briefly, just my sort of career journey, STEM wasn't something that was on my mind at all. In fact, I'm envious a little bit about Rob here because I love aeroplanes. I will sit and watch YouTube videos of planes taking off and landing. Some of you might find that boring, but that's me. I love aeroplanes with a passion. So that was where my sort of path of my career was sort of going. And so I ended up in sort of technology by sort of default, really. But through sort of training, development, education, and a sheer desire not to settle for second sort of best, I've ended up where I am today, where as I said, I'm managing a department of a major university in the United Kingdom. And the same opportunities are present for you right here. One of the things I love, I'm hearing quite a lot of nowadays, especially in Jamaica, is that Jamaica is a place to live, to work, to study, to raise a family. And so, yes, there are opportunities overseas, but if I had the opportunity tomorrow to shift my family from the UK to Jamaica, I would. The quality of life is much better. The quality of, I'll say it again, the quality of life in Jamaica is a whole lot better. And so there are lots of opportunities, and I see so many opportunities across STEM careers in Jamaica. Look at the developments across the country. You'll soon see Black River take off. Black River will be completely transformed. Just watch over the next few years. And the individuals who are behind the planning are those who are involved and engaged in STEM careers. And many of you, some of you sitting in front of me, will be involved in the development of many areas of Jamaica in the future. But you've got to take the opportunities that you have right here, right now, and listening to so many professionals that you have across today, and begin to think, okay, what are some of those, remember that question I said at the beginning? What are some of the problems that you see in your, whether it's your district, your parish, your country, that you would like to see resolved, see fixed? And you are the answer to that. And you can do it through sort of technology. So as I said, a little bit of a default for me in terms of getting involved in sort of technology. But there are so many ways at the moment that you can get involved. Think of all, there's various clubs and societies. There's lots of ways that you can start today. And I don't know if some of you have ever done this, but you could build an AI agent in the next 5 minutes that would transform the next month of your life. In 5 minutes. If we had time, I'd show you how to do it. But that is the way that the world is sort of going. And one of your respected teachers here mentioned your mobile phone. And a mobile phone is a tool that has so many capabilities nowadays. So many capabilities. And instead of doom scrolling on TikTok and watching all these content creators and influencers and whatever else, you could be using that time to upskill yourself today. Right today. You could spend 30 minutes and you could become a qualified AI creator, a developer in 30 minutes. There are so many AI tools out there nowadays that you need to be learning. Don't waste your time that don't on things that don't profit, but make the most of the opportunities that you have today. And with tech, I have to keep learning every day, or else my direct reports are going to surpass me. So I don't even mind if some of them surpass me anyway, because I want to see them grow. I want to see them develop. I want to see them creating great things and improving digital experiences for people. But we have to be learning every single day, because tech is moving in such a fast-paced sort of direction that if you don't keep up, you will get left behind. And so for myself, I have to keep learning every single day. So what are the skills that matter most when it comes to STEM careers? Creativity, problem solving, teamwork, communication, resilience. The last one is being covered by this notice here. But that's another, let me just see if I can get that one. 1 second. So these are the skills that matter most. So curiosity, never stop asking those questions. Why? What if? And you're young, you've got curious minds. You've got so much potential and so much creativity. You guys communicate in a way that is unique and has the ability to change the world. Many of you are problem solvers. You work well together in sort of teams. So these are the skills that matter most when it comes to STEM. So what can you do today? I mentioned some of the things in terms of projects, things that you can learn online, speak to professionals sort of like myself and others who are in the room, so you can get the information that you need today so that you can start developing and making your future tomorrow. So the future isn't something that simply you wait for. Don't wait for things to happen, but it's something that you yourself can help to create. And you are able to do it. And I believe that there are many, many students in this room today and across Cross Keys High School who will be the STEM leaders of tomorrow. So I asked the question at the beginning. Does anyone have a problem that you see that you think technology can fix?
One thing I love about Rob, he always remembers where he's coming from. And for us who travel, for me who travel, if I don't come back home, most time I don't feel good. So when I need to take a break to relax my mind, I have to come back home. So may I encourage each and everyone who is sitting in front of us today. Some of you might travel or will travel, but always remember where you're coming from, and always remember to support where you're coming from. You know, give back. Charity right now, you know, is something I've learned from my white counterparts, that giving back, charity work is one of the greatest benefits in life. Because when you volunteer, you know where that can lead you. Right now, most of you are off school. You can go into a different institution, different, you know, offices or shops. Do some voluntary service within the community, because that can go on your CV. I did that when I left high school because I applied for Church Teachers College, and they gave me a 3 years wait. And I thought to myself, what am I going to do within 3 years of waiting? I can't sit down and look. I went and I gave my time to learn how to sew. By the time I finished sewing, would you believe that I just walked into Mandeville Hotel, speak to the manager, because she was friends with my grandma anyway. I just asked for a job. There was a job there. Not even knowing that I would travel. A couple months later, I received a letter to travel. So once you're physically active, you never know what will work out for you in life. So this summer, don't waste your time. As Andrew said, Mr. Williams said, utilize your resources. Utilize those access you have to AI, to Google, to Instagram. You know, my last contract was with one of the 7 richest company in London, right? 7 richest. These are almost royalties. And that's where they're going now, AI. So even looking at my job before I left, there were staff looking at how they can use AI to do my job. So I encourage you, you need a career path. What you call it, Mr. Griffiths? A vocational path, a vocational skill. You will need that, because you never know when your employer is going to say, sorry, the job we require now, we're doing now, don't need 13 people, we only need 5. Because AI has now come into play. So get a skill. For me, I wish I had gone to Hart and any institution that offers some learning, because when I went to London, went into college, I wonder what kind of teaching is this? It was nowhere like what we receive today in Jamaica. Our standard of teaching is number 1. And that's why the world is resourcing to Jamaica, sourcing some of the greatest teachers, some of the greatest nurses out of our country. So I encourage you, whatever you can learn, learn it. It's never going to go to waste. One day, if it's even for your, why I'm talking like this, I'm actually going to cover investment and banking. I'm going to say a little thing about it because I should have done that. So I'm just giving you my pathway. When I was in school, I never allowed anything to pass me. Even when I didn't have an interest, I had to find ways of working with it. I didn't like Spanish. I'm sure Mr. Griffiths used to have to come to my class and tell us off all the time, just to listen to the Spanish teacher. But you know what? After a while, I found a way to learn Spanish in music. Listen to, you know, Spanish in music. And I went to a Spanish country, did not know anything in Spanish but the basic, and that was because I've learned Spanish in school. So sometimes you go into a world, like you could even go to Paris, you can't speak French, you know nowhere to go because you can't read it, you can't speak it. And if I had learned a little bit of French, I would be able to navigate myself around France, right? So I'm just encouraging you, it doesn't matter what it is, sewing, anything, cooking, you can create your own business out of it. And this is where I'm leading to the investment side. Each and every one of us sitting here have an entrepreneurial mind, not to be employees, but to be employers. You understand what that means? Meaning that you're working on behalf of yourselves, right? It's because of the same knowledge I gained from this very institution. I was a past head girl here at Crosskeys High School. And trust me, anything I put my hands to now is ever successful. Ever successful. I could do events, shows, performance, working in finance, gardening, painting. Like my husband tells you, sometimes he's like, why are you doing that? But it releases me and it gives me an income. For me, I can look at a car and say, okay, I need that car tomorrow. How do I gain that income to do it? I'm not going to the bank to borrow it. Because of my hands, my creative mind, I put them to action. So if there's a party, I can offer to do that service for you at a certain cost, that's income. And I say, if I have 5 of those, that will cover the cost of my car. That's the way how I think. My husband can tell you, sometimes I know it must be stressful for him, but I need to know where I'm going. I need to know where I'm going, and I'm always thinking how I can generate incomes. Right now, between us, we have at least five ways of earning income. So we both have our main jobs, but on the side, we have 9 to 5 cannot sustain us because the standard of living and the cost of living, we have to find different ways, which is easy. As long as your mind is to it and you're prepared to work, you can do it. Nothing is impossible. Just remember that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And also remember, put God first, because that's what I do. That was what my motto when I was coming here, because my aim is always, as Mr. Griffiths can tell you, to be in the 90s, not below that. And I always believe that I could do all things, and I carry that motto with me. Anywhere I go is distinction. Distinction. And that is what you need. Those are the basic skills you need when you go into think about the ways you're going to invest, because now you grasp those basic skills, you can invest in different areas. You have to think about time, what, how, what, and when you invest. All right? Jamaicans are one of the most talented individuals in earning income and earning money. Jamaicans know how to earn money like this because we have creative minds. All right? So I want for the next couple of years, while you go studying, you're thinking of how you're going to build yourself and become employers as you're working hard, because that will propel you in how you work too. If you know where you're going, it will help you to study harder, to gain the marks that you need in order to get there. And when you get there, once you finish study, you gain your experience. Once you gain that experience, you go on now to build your own businesses. One of the greatest ways of investing right now is in properties. And I see that around Jamaica, everywhere I go, properties developing. So the piece of land that you have down there or your grandmother have down there, don't take it, don't despise it. If they're giving it to you, take it. And if you reach a stage where you're working and you can buy it. Because one day I'm telling you, there's going to be a highway passing that piece of land, and that piece of land will worth values. Yes? My husband's family was giving him some land in Christian, and I said, no, want it. No, not up there. But now, oh yes, I need it. I need it now. Main reason, because the price of land has increased. Land is an asset. It will never depreciate. So think about also, as you earn, as you work your way through life, think about assets and investment that will boost you to a higher level, okay? Car depreciates, but guess what? A house never. So for me, you know, my husband, he wanted to buy a Land Rover when we just got married. I was like, no. Because as soon as you drive that out the showroom, the value depreciates. Think, we bought a house. In less than 3 years, we earn 150,000 on that house. So we're able to sell that house and move on to another house. So that's the way you grow. And I'm just encouraging you that you can do it. You have all the resources you need right here in Jamaica, right here in Cross Keys, right here in Manchester, right here in Kingston, to do whatever your heart's desire and maximize on your gifting. When you have a passion for something, go for it. Keep on working towards it, and you shall surely be successful in life. Thank you for listening.
Do not write yourself off. Regardless of where you are in your academics right now, do not write yourself off. And I'm saying that because when I took my entrance exam to come to Cross Keys, I remember the day when I was taking my exam, I got 50 questions to answer. And when I got to question 50, I had 49 questions answered on the Scantron. And the teacher said, no. She took it away from me. And I entered Cross Keys in 7-1. Great ever. I did not write myself off, and here I am today. I tell myself I'm here at all time. I'm flying above. Guys, good day.
Me, I am learning a lot, and I'm a teacher. Once a teacher, always a teacher. So every opportunity is an opportunity to teach and to learn. Now, as you know, I work with some of you guys with scholarship applications, right? And I did interviews on online and had a chance to talk to some of you personally and to get insights into your lives and your interests and so on. And I thought I was dealing with a really brilliant set of kids, a brilliant set of students. I really do expect great things from you. I know you're all going to do well. I know sometimes the path is not immediately clear, and we're all, a part of what we're doing is to help you to try and figure it out. And one of the things that I thought that, and that's coming from teaching kids in Kingston, teaching kids in Washington, D.C., or in Maryland, whatnot, I thought that we could do some sessions on effective presentations. Now, the doctors will tell you that when you go to universities in the States, and as a matter of fact, the University of the West Indies, let's say you're training to be a doctor, but there are specialist courses related to your area of training. There are also courses that you must do. One of the frustrating things that the doctors that I had in my class who I had to teach, say, principles of public speaking and so on and so forth. At UWI, especially, a lot of the kids would get really frustrated with use of English. The doctors didn't want to do use of English, and the mechanics and critical thinking and all of that. Some of them had some real issues with it. But here's the thing: those courses are mandatory. You don't have a choice. You got to do them, and you have to pass them in order to graduate. Why? Because these are the courses that are directly relevant to how you deal with people, how you communicate, how you present yourselves. You guys did your application for the 50/50 scholarships. I am pretty sure that one day, one of you will be interviewing for the Rhodes Scholarship. Okay, that's way up the top of the chain. So how can you improve your presentation skills? Because you don't want your presentation to be that thing that gets in the way of you getting to where you wanted to go. So I thought I would invite my friend, Mr. Jerry McDaniel, best broadcaster in Jamaica right now.
Be here with you. I've been enjoying it almost like I'm a student myself. You doing all right? My God, I'm so not the one go home now. You all right? Oh, all right. Good. It's always good to start with things we have in common. One thing I definitely have in common with everybody here is the fact I was born in Manchester and I grew up in this parish. I was born at Hargreaves Memorial Hospital. I went to Manchester High School for 7 years, left there as head boy. So, and I always know, you know how it is this part of the island. It's not as rigid as it is in other parts of the country. Somehow in the central part of the island, people, I say that to people in Kingston all the time because they have this rigidity of schools, Like it's competition is a good thing, but the kind of rigidity I see in the corporate era, we don't have a country. You go to a dining table and you see 4 or 5 different uniforms. Let me tell. One go and Knox, the other one soon come home from Monroe, the other one go, come to right here to Cross Keys, and all together, right? So you learn that crisscross. And so that is something that I think is a gift of growing up in rural Jamaica. We tend to see the person before we see the labels. And I could easily get carried away with that kind of thing because I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to language. I hear that is a liability and why I would want to study communication because it's not medicine. But I somehow managed to keep a roof over my head by doing it and managed to get into the right rooms globally, worked for the World Bank for several years, gave them sound advice, and they treasured my communication skills. So I'll pass on some of that to you. Question to you first, though. Conversation better than talking at some people. Talk to me. When you hear communication, what do you think? Is it just a thing people say? Is it a value? If it's a value, why is it valuable? Any one of those questions you think come to you naturally in terms of responding to you answer. I'm really interested in hearing, because one of the first things about improving your communication skills is starting with listening. And if I'm going to tell you to start with listening, what should I do? Listen to you. So I want to hear you first and what you think about the value of communication in all things. It's not a job description. It's not something that just doesn't pay well. It's not something you do because you can't get into something else. It's a core skill that every human being needs. What is it though? What defines it? In your own words and experience. Anybody? I saw a hand. Talk to me. Oh no, I just want you to share from your heart and your experience what you feel. What is the value of communication? Why is it important? Why should it matter to you at all? Why should you be concerned about how well you communicate? Okay, great. That definitely came out very, very sincerely. Thank you. Beautiful. One of the beauties about like the listening part of communication as well is that what I try to do that has served me well, and it might help you as well, is that once you listen, you put a word to what you just heard in substance. And the word I heard from you is the core of what communication is. It's not about talking nice, it's not about whatever, it's about connection. And there are some things that you will never get connection from actually doing sequence of things. But if you say the right thing in the right time, with the right words, to the right person, boom, it connects. Why do you think, would you say that we have good singers in Jamaica? Would you say our DJs are worth anything at all in the world? Anybody rate them? What do they do? Communication. Why are they so brilliant? Why do they earn more than some people in education and all that stuff? Because they connect. So what you're saying, young sister there, is right. It's connection. Everything you said came right back to connection. So if you master the art of connecting with the people with whom you're conversing, that is what communication is. It's not a job description. It's not a title. It's not something to be ranked socially about being second best or third best. It's about whether you can connect or not connect with each other. So it flows both ways. Tell me anybody, can you remember anything that might have happened recently? It might be reasoning with your mother, your sister, just turning to a stranger and laughing about something you just see on TV, whatever. That once at the end of it, you said you sit down and connect, or maybe even later in the night, you think about your whole mess, but you say, that connect for real. We never think about it that way, but connect. Can you think of even one such example? All of us go through that all the time. Can anybody think of any one example recently where something, when it drop, you say, connect. That's the purpose of communication, to connect and to feed empathy. Anybody? Anything like that recently? It might be a new song, it might be somebody you met, it might be a fashion you saw, something that just connected. I hear the buzz, but we want to hear a little more, man. Anybody? Art generally, but was it a piece? That's what I'd love to hear is something specific about, like you saw a piece of art recently that connected well with you, that you thought, tell us about it and why it connected. I mean, you don't have to go into an essay, but just share something that people can relate to. What was it? What kind of art was it? It was like a sketch or a painting or macrame. What kind of art? Oh, so what about it? What about it? A friend of mine used to say, when he said something, he said, something about it just slapped me. That's his thing. That's his thing. You know, friend group is always that thing where, you know, when it takes a boy that want to slap me, means it really connects and you can't forget about it. What make it slap you? Appealing to the eyes. So it stimulated something very specific in you. That's another whole area of communication that people very often forget, because every time you walk into a room, you're communicating something. Somebody walk and is the way them walk. Something they have on, something is a manner that they have, and you don't even know what it is. As a matter of fact, the French, anybody here talk French or did French? There's a French phrase, je ne sais quoi, which means literally, I do not know what. In Jamaica, with something about them, Germany know something about them, but it's true in every culture. The French actually have a phrase that says, I do not know what it is, which is je ne sais quoi. Meaning, je ne sais quoi, but I don't know what, but it slapped me. Essentially, that's what I'm saying. And every human, allow me to tell brethren, at some points you experience something like that. You don't know yet what it is about the girl, you don't know what it is about the moment, you don't know what it is about that move, but it slapped you. Never happened to you yet. Something that just really hit you without a word being spoken and no shots being fired to kill. That is the goal of communication, and hopefully mutually. And out of that, what you end up with is depth of relationships. Is it really that important to have deeper relationships? Or you can just have a bag of people or a bungalow girl and that is fine? Or are close relationships where you can talk to me? How do you see what is important in a relationship? And that relationship is not necessarily only about, male-female intimacy and that sort of thing. It's about any kind of friendship. It's about, a brethren, a sister, a good close cousin, somebody you just met, a classmate. It could be any kind of connection. What about it makes it valuable to you? What about it? Yes, good communication. Give me an example of what that might look like. It don't have to be your personal feeling, but something you might have observed, because it's valid. What about that you think helps? Yes, truthfulness. You can trust it. So a huge element of it is trustworthiness. So some people get a roast to kind of do a public speaking issue or something or whatever, and them kill up themselves about running up their mouth. And either they want to sound like an American, a Canadian, or whoever, want to sound like somebody else, or they want to sound like the slickest thing, or they want to emulate a DJ. But it's hollow because it doesn't really connect and it's not really working for them that time. Yeah. So really and truly, the biggest thing about something that connects, that communicates, is something that connects. And so the if it's about connection, the fundamental thing is good communication is a bit like sales. A bit like sales, not just like that, because it's not just sales is about something you want to get rid of and you want somebody to give you some money for it. But the transparent way with communication is not that. It's understanding that the best way to have that connection between you and somebody else, if it's your teacher, if it's your mother, if it's your sister, if it's your bro, is that it must be something that touch the two of you. It connects you. Even if it is that the person is better at it than you, and because you admire people who can do that, or because you are excellent and you get ratings. You see what I'm saying? Something must connect you. All right. Now, we can't go through every single thing today, but I want to do just one exercise and to listen to you do that exercise for me, if you will. It's a fairly simple one. There's a little, I got through all my levels of schooling by studying acronyms. You know, when you can't remember 10 points for something, you make a word with it, and you just remember the word. And when you go in an exam, then you say, oh, the E mean this and that. I wasn't very good at swatting details. But if I understood everything and if I could make it into an acronym, then I would never forget. And I had that all the way up to my master's degree. Where the head I get all in the thing, but I remember because of the acronyms. So I learned a lot by acronyms. So there's an acronym called GOSS, G-O-S-S. It's only 4 letters and it's very simple, but what it does is that almost any idea can be compressed into those 4 points and then be adjusted to connect because of how you feel the other person going to deal with it, right? Because everybody not going to receive this in the same way, right? And it's very, very simple. The G is for goals. In other words, what is for? What is this? What is for? Why is it important? Why should I care? You don't connect until you figure out if what you want to share, you care, the person cares, it might affect them one way or the other. The O is obstacle. What might be problematic about this thing? Is it a joke, but something in the joke suggests misogyny, something in there kind of don't reflect women in a negative light? Well, tell the story, but change the gender to a man because the misogyny thing that's cute and you don't want to tell a joke to a woman that this is women. Clearly, that don't make sense, but you want the essence of the joke. So the possible object is you going into some of your kind of jokes, which tend to don't work with that person because them don't like that kind of thing. But the point is still valid, right? All right, so that's the what you want to be, why you want to do it, why it make any sense, right? The O is obstacle, what might prevent you, and so you clear that way. So you use the language that them understand, you tell it at the time when they're likely to be receiving it. You find all these ways to clear anything that can hold you up. You understand? Anything that can bung up the works, in a word, you know? Yeah? What are the things that might make it successful? Why do you think, you know, when your parents very often talk to you in a particular kind of way, encourage you and so on, that you somehow do a little bit better, or your sister? Because they understand that certain measures help you to come on board, and for their talking to you will work better than the hard talking or the slapping, but that is more like food rather than bow bow. So that's the other one. What you're going to put in there that's going to make you successful. And then the other S is a thing called schema, S-C-H-E-M-A, which just means how you do it. You sing it in a song, you put it in an email, you tell them when nobody else, no fast people around the place that are listening, the settings. You could have used schema as more like the settings. So anything about all, you get all of that? The G-O-S-S, somebody want to reflect it for me? What are they again? The G-O-S-S, the elements to connect with somebody, whatever it is, if it's a conversation, if it's an essay you're writing to be marked, you have to connect with the person who going to mark your essay. So you know, oh, Mr. get a point there, so if I show how I understand it, I have to put a point in the essay. So when she sees the man, she knows, so you do that, listen, so you get your marks, right? So it's important to be able to understand how to connect the G-O-S-S. What you want out of it, what might, the goals, what might bung it up for you, what is might be in there that might turn them off, get rid of it, yeah? What might sweeten it up, the successes feel, and then the settings, how must it be? What form must it be in? Should I write it a particular way? Should I put it in poetry? Should I tell them when them come? Should I cook them favorite something and kind of ease them into it? What should I do? G-O-S-S, right? Clear? You look like a skeptical, my sister. Tell me, talk to me. What's on your mind? Foolishness, may I tell you, though? No? All right. Who wants to think of a potential problem and have a go? I'd love for a few of you to have a go at this because things tend to be only useful. You know, you go in a store and you go buy some clothes, you try it on, right? You know, say, boy, that will fit me, and then send somebody go buy it? No. So to find out if it fits and you can use it in something, who wants to volunteer? Anything that you think might be a scenario in which you want to share something and how you would decide how to tell two different people. that will show you and show me that you understand the principle, because you don't tell everybody the same thing in the same way, even though it's the same substance, right? And you don't do it in the same timing either. You adjust all of these things. It's a huge chunk of this discipline of social science that is communication, and there are all these considerations in split seconds. You don't have to work out no formula and remember nothing. You have to have that humanity inside of you that understands the way humans work and therefore adjust what you're saying so it will connect. That's what it is in real time. Any difficulty you've ever had with it doesn't have to be a real example. It could be just something you've thought of, just to practice. Who wants to give me an example of a situation you want to tell somebody and you think it through and how you'd do it and tell me why? In other words, boy, I want to tell my mom this, but if me go this way, she could say that. If she said that, she not gonna like that. If me tell her when she has served dinner, maybe she mellow. It makes me understand that you understand, right? It don't have to be exactly real something, but it's something that you can internalize and understand. It's a way to improve your way of being effective and subsequently being influential. All these people they have all over digital media that they call influencers. Do you think they have any magic in them somewhere? Anybody? No. What they do, they hold up a mirror to society. And they put up the things that people aspire to and make it look big. And they put up the things that people don't like and they make them shame it. And all of a sudden, they have 1 million followers. They're not only super influencers. They understand the basic GOSS. That's what. And they monetize it. And that's good. I like to see when people utilize casual things and can go as far as to monetize it. So think about how could you, for instance, monetize just this thing, understanding just how to coach things, to share information. If it's with your teacher, if it's at church, if it's with a sister, if it's with a parent, anybody, just pick one person, anybody. Pick an example, something you think you might have difficulties telling somebody, but how you would use the GOSS, making sure you know what you want to get out of it, making sure you keep out of it something that going to make it so you don't bother put it in. Make sure you put something in there that will sweet it up, and then figure out how you go and package the whole thing so it will keep them attention. The GOSS, goals, obstacles, successes, and schema, which is settings, right? Anybody? Give it a go. I believe in you, man. Don't we believe in her? Yes, man, we believe in her, man. Come on. We're behind you. We support you. I give the ratings because we know so you can do it. Just start it there for me. Come join me and take the mic and I'll keep you company and give you the encouragement. Eh? Yeah, I get it. Would you believe me if I tell you I'm an introvert who has been a broadcaster for 45 years? I don't go out of my way to talk to people if I don't have to. I do it because it's a work. But then if I know it's going to work, then I actually do it. So you don't have to actually have a natural inclination to do it. And you can even feel away. Most days, I didn't want to go work. And then once I sit down and the mic is open and I know people are waiting and they want this information, and when I give them going to love it, that makes me want to do it. Not the boldness so much as that it's going to connect and somebody going to use the information. So every Sunday for 20 odd years, I do this because somebody need the information. I want it. Not because I want to run out and talk how much million people. Because it's going to be valued something, something valuable in their life. And they see communication as valuable to their lives. Try it, man. Yes, one problem. Something, yeah.
And so therefore, I don't want to bring that forward. Yes? Yes or no? Is that a problem? Okay, who am I trying to articulate that problem to? Who can I get talking to? Teacher or mom? Okay, let's go mom.
Mom.
How do I help my mom understand? I'm tired, I have a headache, and I want to be done with this. Without making her mad at me. What are some things I can do? I saw one hand.
Yes, I said a hand.
I can't hear you. Loud. Okay, so lie down and look safe. That's one way we can communicate non-verbally. How do I communicate verbally? I have to be strong. I have to be confident. I I know she's my mommy, and I know she's gonna be mad because I'm not doing my schoolwork. So I have to goss her. Communicate how?
How?
What words can I use? Give me an example of some statements.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna
So that's the obstacle, right?
yes.
Right? Yeah. So your goal is what? To get out of something or to just not do this or it's sincere? All right.
But there will be a success, yes? So because she's my mommy, I have to soften her. How can I be successful? Yes. Your expression?
How?
Okay, so what kind of expression can I make with my mommy so that she releases me from the struggle of my schoolwork? I can smile, I can
I don't know. I think Jamaican mothers are immune to sad face. You can go and lock up your mouth. You're lucky. Jamaican mothers? No. No. That's why Jamaicans are so tough. Mothers don't play around here. Mothers don't play that.
I'll do it later on.
Ah.
Is later on enough, or is that just a general time test? Because later on could be 10 years from now.
That's a start, yeah. But how do you say it?
Later on, but how do I quantify later on so that she's not just waiting for me to do my work forever? Okay, after I take this nap and I wake up in the afternoon, I wake up in the afternoon, I wake up in 30 minutes, I wake up in an hour, I wake up. When? When is the afternoon? This is Jamaica. Afternoon is from 12 to about 6 p.m. So, no, time. I said 12 to 6. Give me any number in between 12 and 6 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay, mommy, I will wake up at 5 o'clock and I will get straight back to my schoolwork, but right now my head hurts. So, schema, yes, schema is background knowledge, the things you already know. She's your mommy. What does she already know about you? That you what? I can't hear anybody. Okay, you love to sleep, yes.
Yeah.
What make her want to soften her heart to you?
Yeah.
Are you a passive mommy? You know I'm a good student. Mommy, you know I always do my work. Mommy, you know I do everything I have to do. What kind of things could convince mommy? Just say it out loud.
Is there any soft spot mommy has that that aligns with the time that you're offering to do it? Because if you know she gets drowsy at 3, if you know she gets drowsy at 3, promise to do it at 3 so she can sleep. It is about a guaranteed, well, not guaranteed, it's trying to navigate an outcome. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
This is it. Give me the last test. What is it?
What's the setting?
None of you have family members that know you and you can soften their hearts to you when you say a certain thing. My mommy, she knows that I work very hard. She knows that I did everything that I could to exceed her expectations. So at 23 years old, I am a teacher for 3 years. I'm the educator of the year. I'm this, I'm that, I'm the third. So whenever my mommy starts bothering me, I go, Mommy, didn't I get the degree, Mommy? Mommy, please can I take a nap? I went to school, I got a degree. What can you say as people who know your mommy in this situation to try and soften her to you? Everybody open your mouth now. If you want to talk to this next. Start talking. This is about communication. Start talking. Thank you. This is for talking. Talk. Okay, we're talking. Okay, now somebody raise a hand. I want to say you've been talking all day. You want to talk? Okay, go ahead. Okay, I could do that. Yes, I could. So the goal is I want to lay down with my head hurts. The obstacle is that my head hurts and my mom is lucky not able to do that. The S is success. The success is when I get up at 5 o'clock, I will do what I'm supposed to do. And then the schema is that I show her my past test results today. Mom, this is how I perform when I'm well rested and I'm focused. Yes?
You both have to get something out of it.
Okay.
Is the point. You both have to get something out of it. Yes. Yeah. Like? You can make it up. You don't have to be your mother. For instance.
Y'all said wash, they said wash up plates, wash some clothes, hang something on the line. or something? Yes, good job, good job. We're communicating. Good job, guys.
The sun rubbing mommy's foot is the ultimate deception, though. Yeah, I still think there's a manipulative boy child wrapped in a 63-year-old body right here. Yeah. Fortunately for my mother, she's no longer around to be manipulated. I miss her so much. Yeah. Couldn't manipulate my father. He was a trade unionist. What? What? Him know every trick on the line. Yeah, tough. Anybody else wants to try something else? Another situation? Something that you would like to say, but you think sometime for the person who you want to say it to, it could be problematic and you need to figure out how you're going to say this. Yes. Go ahead, please. Just so. What is that? That's the obstacle. What's the end game? What you want? Ah,
Okay, so my goal is to do this in front of you. So my obstacle is that I think I did not do well. The steps, however, this is what you're saying, sir. So I think I didn't do well, but I did well on my previous. Okay, and so the schema is the thing that she knows about you is that never okay. So it's not that you failed the exam. You're trying to soften her before she sees the result.
yeah.
You guys.
You see the sub that's brilliant, you know, because the sub that's brilliant because the subtext is I'm not somebody who loaf with my work. I just don't feel up to it now. So you're not out and out trying to. Because the idea is the idea is not to manipulate in a way that is unfair to one person or the other. It's to negotiate emotionally, and it may or may not work. Because if it's not working, you leave it alone and you jolly well do what you need to have to do, unless you are hell bent on just getting the outcome for yourself. That's a different something. That's not negotiating meaning between two people. That's, toxic manipulation. It's a different something. The thing with human behavior, as we all know, is that it's on a continuum. It's hard to figure where one starts and the other stops, and I leave that to the psychiatrists because I have no training to say where that starts and where that ends. I just know that is a continuum, and you don't want to cross over into something which becomes negative. Question, quick question. Have any of you had any reason to speak publicly recently and had any kind of concerns or questioned yourself in any way about that situation that we could probably help you with in terms of suggestions? Like if it was a situation, this was involved, and beyond so and so, I couldn't go any further because I didn't know how to do it. It's part of what I do for a living, is to coach people through scenarios to see how they can authentically come to an understanding of the fact that they don't forget everything, but they can explain themselves better. So even if they do not win, they understand that they have done honorably, which is to explain and to connect. It's not saying past each other or writing past each other. It's a connection, so there's some understanding. The understanding doesn't guarantee your preferred outcome. But if you have understanding and there's trust in that understanding as not being manipulative, then you've moved forward because you still trust each other even though you're not on the same page. Because how many friends you have that for some things, and you invite a friend and somebody calling him and say, because it's still your friend, you still love that person, but that the scenario is not for them. So you rule it out. It therefore means it is very customized to the two people talking at the time. It's not a trick thing that you use on everybody. It's something you navigate, negotiate, you empathize, you connect, so you understand. And that shifts sometimes. And when it shifts, the best thing to do is to be honest about it and say, boy, I'm really just tired here. And you both have a good laugh about it because you realize what was happening at the time. But if you try to do it consistently, then that becomes something completely different and not something healthy. It's healthy to have to navigate conversations because they're very often difficult. There's no set way of doing it, but there are ways of seeing it so that both people are seen and then see each other. Anybody here gets nervous when you have to speak publicly? Sometimes? Give me an example of a situation in which you said to yourself, boy, no, I can't do this, or whatever it is. Oh, okay. That's true. Sometimes there's a weird thing that happens with your sense of balance when you're really nervous. And those of us who are introverts know that. We don't show it, but we know it because we have learned how to overcome it. And people think, oh, we're so bold and confident. No, it's because you've learned how to manage it with the right coaching. So you don't look like you're going keel over, and you don't keel over because you know you manage it internally inside of you before it come out. One of the things, does anybody here practice deep breathing? Slow, deep breathing? It's one of the most underutilized, simple things. It comes up a lot in some of the schools in the British system and parts of the US as well, but I don't see it a lot here in Jamaica, where it's a standard toolbox in your own well-being, where you just feel like you're going to flip. There's nobody to help in the moment. You know, whoever the medical people are not, you can't get what the professional help you need. And so you need something to get you to the point where you can get the help from the parents or whoever else. And it's to breathe very deeply and slowly to counts of 10 up and down and walk around a little bit. And it does something to just your sense of your feeling. You don't feel as beat down and pop down. It won't get rid of the problem, but it helps. It comes primarily from the performing arts, actually, because many people who are top singers globally didn't start that way because they were not, they didn't have the persona to do it, but they do it in them bathroom or them bedroom or in front of them friends. But when they see the stage, them kind of bung out and can't do it. And then the deep breathing helped them to be able to be in that space emotionally when they're in front of people they don't know. So it's a tool that you can use. People use it before exams. You think you're fine, you know, you've done enough, and when you're walking up to the hall or wherever to sit the exam, if you deep breathe slowly in and out, there's some amount of measure of calm that attends you, that helps you the next way. It's not a cure-all, it's not medicine, it's just a practice that tends to help you through a period in which there's a lot of angst, but not something that you need to seek medical help for, just that moment you need to feel settled. And almost everybody I know who's in any form of the performing arts have to do that from time to time. You know, a dancer who has a particularly tricky move and is her first time doing it on the big stage, and that's what gets her to the point. And afterwards, boom. And after that, she moves on. Any questions that you have about help that you might need in terms of public speaking? You can work through stuff like that at some other point, or we can engage with it now if you want. Yes, go ahead. What? When speaking or performing. The thing is, the real solution comes before you need it. Hence the whole business of the practice of breathing, deep breathing, when you're not as panicked and so on. Because in the moment, when you feel like you're going to bung out, is when that trips in. And if your body becomes accustomed to responding a particular way when you deep breathe, and you are bung out and can't think, and your body trips in with the breathing, it works. Personally, it has worked, and also for a number of people in the practice of any aspect of public performance. So the idea is to prepare for it before you need it. There's no magic in the moment. If you have the practice, it will show up when you need it. If you automatically go to that place of understanding how deep breathing helps you through practice. Some people just do it every single morning and then do it before them go out in bed just because. And so it becomes part of who they are. and it kicks in. It kicks in when the panic starts. Unless, of course, it is something medical, in which case you need to go to the right place and seek the right professional to get that done. But if it's just something with the way you respond under pressure, that deep breathing can help to assuage, and you do that regularly, it can help you in these blips along the way. And for showing up in a big situation, it's pretty helpful. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
When you're nervous and you have to either speak, you can make connection with the audience by presentation when you're nervous. And make a
Yes.
connection with the audience, because a lot of people in the audience are going to be feeling nervous if they are nervous. So then you can just come out and be honest, because honesty is a good way to communicate and form strong connection with the audience. So if I'm nervous, I start by saying, guys, can you please give me a little bit of grace because I'm really nervous and stand looking at all of you making me feel like I'm really fast out. So if you hear my voice, start going over and just understand.
Humor.
They start thinking slowly, so that the audience help to give you a laugh or they give you a little bit, and that will help you relax that connection. Just tell them to relax a little bit. So honesty is one of the ways to connect with the audience.
Absolutely, I agree with that completely. And you can convey that into your regular life, and it just becomes part of who you are. Saw a hand. Saw the hand. Oh, okay. No, I thought I saw your hand go up. Oh, okay. All right. If there's no other question or concern, then I guess that's it. The number is 260-3329, 260-3329. WhatsApp if you want any questions. 260-3329. And it's Jerry with a G. After 62 years, I get bugged out when people write J's. So if you text me with a J, you're not getting an answer. Because I'm a cranky old man.